Breaking news also coming in that we need to address. We are now learning that Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi will be holding an address at 4 p.m. Indian Standard Time today. All right, Ambassador Manju said, in fact, Mr. Wang Yi was also in India just a couple of weeks back, and that was obviously in the midst of our back and forth with the Americans when it came to tariffs. Vladimir Putin is also likely or most probably going to be attending the SCO. It's a 10-member rotating chair presidency which China has at this point in time. A couple of years ago, ma'am, this was a forum that India was not very keen on pursuing, considering the fact that there was a tilt towards members that China was, more or less supporting or in line with. But things have changed, tables have turned, and India is doing what it can as a pragmatic democracy to safeguard its own interest.
Absolutely, and the whole SCO meetings and previous ones that have been held, somehow in the recent ones, China was trying to. It's always been a China and Russia-led sort of initiative. And it started out with both those countries coming together with a few, Central Asian countries, and that's how it started. The Shanghai Five, it was called. And as it has grown and had more members coming in, India joined, as you know, in 2017. But its characteristic has changed, and India has been wary a little bit about its agenda, because China sought to promote the BRI through it. It sought to put more pressure on the member countries to have its writ sort of followed. And so India was a bit wary and was not very keen on being an active member. And also, as its relationship with the US was building up, I think it wanted to not be very very active, and because somehow its concerns were not always addressed in the SCO meetings. So I think it had been a little, not very enthusiastic about participation, but had been participating regularly. It's not that we didn't participate, and we contributed whatever was possible. But yes, as we saw in the last one or two meetings, we have not signed on to some of the, especially when Defense Minister was there for the last SCO Defense Ministers meeting, we didn't sign on to their declaration because it sought to play down Pakistan's role in terrorism, etc. So I think we have not been very active in it, but now I think the changed sort of situation, and with the Trump tariffs creating havoc all around, we have in our quest to as very rightly said, to guard our interests, to safeguard our interests, we find that this multilateral organization and the bilateral meetings on the side will be in our interest to promote and to safeguard our trade and our relationships, and to build this, especially with China. It has been a difficult neighbor. It has been a difficult partnership over the years. Now China says we've been very good development partners, but really that has not been the case. But yes, it has been needling us all along these many years after a period of quiet, as very rightly mentioned by the general. They were building and focusing on their own strengthening themselves and growing quietly, and always talking about the peaceful rise of China. I remember this used to be the buzzword. So for India, they wouldn't use peaceful rise, they would use only for China. So we wondered whether it was a peaceful rise or whether it was not going to be so peaceful, that the fact that they kept reiterating it. And it turned out to be right. It wasn't a very peaceful rise, in the sense that it has been always, since it became a strong country, it has been inimical to the interests of others. Its actions have been inimical to the interests of other countries, as we've seen in the South China Sea, its so-called 9-line, and in our neighborhood, and vis-a-vis India as well. So that it has been its approach to, it believes that is the best way to safeguard its interests and to grow. And to some extent, it has also been borrowing from the playbook of the Western countries of the US, of how they conducted their affairs and rose and became more and more developed and more powerful in the world. So I think China has done that, and India has been a bit wary of all this action, of its actions. But now I think we will not. In our interest again, in our quest to ensure our interests, I think we decided that this was the right time to renew our relationship. I mean, already, as very rightly mentioned, it has been already being reset, and trying to be, some kind of cordiality in the relationship has been sought to be introduced. But at this point of time, it was crucial, given what is happening, that we send a strong message to, of course, the US, but also to China and to the other countries that yes, we would like to partner with you, but provided there is mutual trust and respect. That's a very important aspect. And of course, we need to make ourselves stronger, and we need to see that China's actions, are matched by its words. I think that is something we need to stress on. And I believe that going forward, there will be some reset, there will be some, it's not going to be a radical changeover, but there's going to be some reset and some positive movement in the relationship.